Welcome to Adventure Freaks, a podcast on living abroad on a budget.
All right, so today I am with my new friend. His name is Johnson Ezenwankwo. Ezenwankwo. So it's Johnson Ugo Ezenwankwo. And Johnson, he is from Nigeria, and he lives in the Czech Republic, in the sensational city of Prague, of all places. It's a famous place. A lot of people travel to Prague. It's well known on many backpackers' journeys through Europe. So I'm going to pull up a map. Johnson, first of all, I want to say thank you for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Let me pull up a map, and we'll share a map to show everybody where Prague is. Hold on here. Where is my map? There it is. Okay. So so there you are. You're kind of like in a really centralized area. It's a great area, great location, gives you access to so many wonderful places.
Absolutely. It is a landlocked country, so it's hitting somewhere there in between Germany, Poland, and I think Slovakia, all around, surrounding it beautifully and nicely.
Yeah, and it's okay. So here's the states over here. We hone in close in on Europe, and we're getting into the Czech Republic here, and there is Prague, which is the capital of the Czech Republic. All right. Are there any lakes around? Is there any water around the Czech Republic where people go and like hang out on a beach?
Yes, a lot of them, but there are smaller ones in the towns and small villages and inner cities. But in Prague, the most popular one is what is called the Vltava. It's like a river. I don't know if it's natural or artificial, but it's quite long and it runs almost across most parts of Prague. People come there, especially during summer, this time around to cool off, relax during the day, especially when they get notifications from government that the temperature is going to really rise, like we had last week. We got text messages that it will go as high as 36 degrees Celsius. So everyone found their way down in the lakes and the rivers just to cool off.
To stay cool, man. It got hot everywhere, all over the world.
Yes.
So what is that river called again? How do you spell it?
It's called Vltava. Vltava.
Vltava.
Yes, Vltava.
Okay,
river.
and that's a river.
Yes, it is a river.
Is it close to Prague?
It is in Prague, actually.
It's in Prague. Okay, so you don't have to go far.
No, you don't have to. It's right there in Prague.
Okay, cool. All right. So Johnson, you're from Nigeria. And I say, Nigeria has the greatest music in the world. Coming from a place like that, how did you tell us a little bit about your journey? How did you end up in the Czech Republic in Prague?
Okay, it all started after my bachelor's degree. I did the compulsory 1-year youth service, which is called NYSC. Every Nigerian will know about this National Youth Service Corps. And after that, I decided to get a master's degree in offshore engineering. I got a first class in that master's degree. I got a second class upper in the first degree. So I actually wanted to work in the oil and gas industry, offshore to be specific, but it wasn't coming forth. And finally, I landed a lectureship position to teach at a university in Uganda, all the way from Uganda, East Africa. So when they called me, I didn't believe it was real. So, but I discovered that they called a couple of other persons. So that was 2016. So I landed in Kampala, Uganda, started working there as a lecturer, developed materials and research. After 3 years, from 2016 to 2019, I decided it was time to upgrade myself because, of course, if you're in the academia, you have to have that PhD. That's what opens, the rest of the door, and the opportunities become limitless. So I decided to started looking online, started looking for schools. I got admission in a couple of countries, in Australia, in the UK, and of course in the US as well. So, but most of them didn't come with scholarship, and it was going to be a bit hard for me to handle. And finally, I saw this university here. The fees was a bit affordable, and they promised me a couple of other packages to help me to handle it by myself, because I didn't want to take a loan or put the burden on anybody back home. So that was how I decided to come to Prague, Czech Republic. And I've been here for 3 years. So I'm rounding up this research around middle of next year, hopefully.
Okay, so the PhD program took you to Prague. You did your research and you identified a program that was, I guess, somewhat affordable. How much is a PhD program to pursue that, like in Czech Republic?
In Czech Republic, it's usually the lowest you can have, because it depends on the university, but the lowest you can have, if you're self-funded, the very least you can have is about $2,000 per annum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about $2,000 per annum. But of course, as a PhD student, you do research, you have publications, and you also get some support from the university. So you get financial support, you get the opportunity to go attend conferences in different countries,
Yeah.
which is completely fully funded by the university as well.
Yeah,
So
and how many years does it take you to complete that program?
It's about 4 years here in Czech Republic. About
Okay.
4 years, standard 4 years.
Wow. So what's your impression so far? You've been there for 3 years. I mean, was it culture shock? Was it, what was your first impression?
There was not much of that, like much of culture shock, because I discovered that, like, I think personally, from my own view, I'm someone who is able to adapt to new environments. So it was quite easy for me to make the necessary adjustments, to start living, start studying very quickly, and start getting used to how life in Prague is, and Czech Republic as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, there wasn't really any huge culture shock, but of course, Czech people are different. They have their own pattern and way of doing things. So that's the first thing you have to learn here. Understand how the system works, understand how they run their lives and everything. So I think really I got into it within the first 6 months. I was really at home. I was fine.
Yeah, great. So, and I'm guessing that you had to obtain a student visa?
Yes, I did. I had to do that.
Yeah, can you share a little bit about how to do that with the viewers?
Yes, sometimes a couple of persons, it can be quite rigorous. I've seen a lot of people who went very easy. They got it a very smooth process. Other people had a very, very tough journey on the other hand. So I think I belonged to the class that didn't get it quite easy. So what happened, it inspired me to create a group, a Telegram chat group, where I try to mentor other young people who want to come here and study, bachelor's, master's, and PhD. So right now we have close to 100 members in this group, and every day I keep getting emails from, I think it's one of the biggest social media sites in Nigeria. It's called Nairaland. Mm-hmm. That's where I put my email and I advertise that I'm actually here in the Czech Republic. If you need help, write to this email. At least every week I get at least 5 to 6 mails asking me, hey, I saw your contact. How can you help me? So I just draw them to the Telegram group, and then they meet other people and they get the help that they need.
So you created this group to help people navigate the visa process?
Yes, I did. I created this group.
Okay. All right. So we'll actually post the link on this podcast too for people so that they can see that. And if they need it, that'd be great.
That would be beautiful. That would be really, really fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So what were some of the hoops you had to jump through to obtain the visa?
First things first, you have to first have an admission. When you have an admission, you have an insider, the contact people or contact person from the admissions office that you're talking with, writing, exchanging emails with. And then they will do what is called the verification of previous studies. Okay, if you're going for a PhD, they need to see your master's degree documents. If you're going for a bachelor's, they need to see your high school documents and all of that. So once they confirm that you have these this standard qualification needed for further studies, then they will do what they call legalization at your home country, where your home country also confirms that this document is original and authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So once you finish that, then you do what is called super legalization, where the Czech embassy in your home country also confirms that this document that your country has confirmed is authentic. So you have the Ministry of Education in your country confirming it. This is called legalization. The Czech embassy in your country super legalizes it. And then once you have this, the school will send you the hard copy, the original hard copy of the admission letter from Czech Republic to your home country.
Gotcha.
It could come, yes, they could maybe use a DHL or any of the FedEx or the regular mails. Then once you get these, I think that's really a big start. And then you will also now get the form. You have to fill a form, and then you book for an appointment at the embassy in your country. It's usually very competitive, so you need to start on time. And then once you get the slot, they will give you a date and time when you appear there for this interview. So you're going to that place with this number of documents. You're going there with the originals of the admission letter. Then you also show them a proof of funds. Proof of funds. I think it could differ from country to country, but I think it's about right now. It's about I think it's about 90 to 95,000 Czech crowns. If you convert that to, if you convert that 90 to 95,000 Czech crowns, that's about it's not so much. It's about $4,500 US in your account, showing that you have this money and it's able to take care of you for 1 year, because they've done the estimate and they believe that this is the amount that's able to take care of you for 1 year.
Oh wow!
And then once you have this ready, then you also do a medical. You get a medical document. You go to the hospital and do a number of checkups, and the doctor confirms that you're okay. And then the next thing you have to get is also the criminal record, the police clearance document. You need to get this as well from your home country. And once you have all of this police criminal document will also be legalized and super legalized, like the previous study documents that you did. And once you have this, you already have your slot, the date and time from the embassy. Then on that day, you will appear, usually in the morning hours, and then you have a small conversation. I don't like to call it an interview because it's mainly a conversation. They just want to know what motivates you. Why did you choose the Czech Republic? What are your ideas after studies? What would you do next? So by doing this is usually the most critical area, because I tell all these young people all the time, I tell them, when you get there, you have to comport yourself. They want to see what you're coming for. Once they get the slightest idea that you're really not interested in studying, you just want to get a visa, come in here and probably do something else, then it may not go well with your visa. So let's go there, convince them. Like there was a particular case of a young boy that I told everything he was supposed to say. And when he got there, they asked him, what's the website of the university you're going to? And he just couldn't remember. I know it's not really a special question that he should know, but at least you went to the website. That's where you applied from. You should remember it at least. So these are small basic things that you need for this visa.
Okay. Wow. And some of those interviews, it sounds like it could get tricky. They ask you some trick questions to kind of skip you up a bit. Yeah. Wow. All right. So what's so once you got in, does the program provide healthcare for you? And what is healthcare like in the Czech Republic?
Yes. Let me still continue from the visa process. After you've attended the interview and it's successful, usually takes about 3 months standard. But I've heard people who say they got theirs in a couple of weeks, like surprisingly. Sometimes it can take 3 months, sometimes it can take much longer than that. Sometimes it can be as short as a couple of weeks. And once you have this, you get a confirmation by email that your visa is ready and you got approved. Then they would advise you to buy an insurance. It's a medical insurance that will cover the duration that you will be. That's usually 1 year, standard 1 year for students. Sometimes for PhD students, when you want to renew, you could get 2 years, but the first one usually is 1 year. So you buy an insurance for 1 year that will cover you. I think that's the medical insurance situation. But if you are on any kind of maybe scholarship from government, I think probably they would help to maybe provide a document to assist you with this. But if you're self-funded, you will have to buy this insurance.
What's the cost of that insurance?
It's about, it used to be about, like last year, it used to be about 11,000 Czech crowns, which is about $500 per annum. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, last year they kind of monopolized it and gave it to one company, and this company is the only company that's authorized now to sell this insurance to foreigners. And right now it's about 26,500, almost like 100% increase. It's 26,500, about $1,300 now per annum.
$1,300.
Yes.
So that's about $100 a month. A little
Yes.
over, just slightly over $100 a month.
Yes.
For health insurance. Okay. And that covers everything. Like, would you have to pay anything to go see the doctor? Are there doctor fees or?
No, it is comprehensive. It covers everything.
Everything. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Good information. Thank you. All right. So then you had to get there and you had to find a place to live. So what is the cost of a flat I'm guessing in Prague, they're probably fairly expensive, but what is the breakdown? What did you find as far as studios, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, the flat,
Yes.
cost of a flat?
Yeah, this is also one area that's experienced a huge increase, in the price, apart from food and other things. And this insurance that I just mentioned, the cost of flats has also skyrocketed, very, very greatly, especially last year. And it's the inflation, which has also hit Czech Republic very hard recently. The cost of a flat, I think the cheapest, like almost everywhere, is the hostels for students. Prague, this is the cheapest you can get. Let me start by breaking it down from the very least. You can get a room. Yes, you can get a room. They usually call them a shared flat, where you could have maybe an apartment with 2 or 3 rooms, and you have 2 other people share with you. So they're in their own room and you have your own room. So each of you could be paying about 12,000 Czech crowns, about that.
Okay.
And sometimes it depends on the landlord or the agreement. Sometimes the energy and water and garbage are included, which is usually the case in hostels.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, for hostels, it's usually included. And also, but if it is not a hostel, most times you would have to pay that separately, but they're not so expensive. They're like, maybe energy could be maybe 500 Czech crowns or 1,000 Czech crowns, which is 500 or 1,000 Czech crowns is about, let me convert that. 1,000 Czech crowns is about $45 a month. Energy could be, yes, energy could be maybe $50 and all that for that kind of small house,
Yeah. So in a shared space, that's really,
yes, a shared space. So
for a full month.
yeah,
That's nothing, man.
Yes, 3-bedroom apartment, and then you guys all stay in your bedrooms, and then you have the common area, there's the living room and the kitchen and bathroom.
Yeah.
Each of you will contribute about 12,000 for this, which is about $600, about that.
Okay.
Yes, and this is like one step ahead of because the least is the hostels, where you can have maybe probably 8,000, about 7,000 Czech crowns a month. Let me also convert that. This is the very cheapest you can have, a hostel where you have maybe that's about $400 a month.
Okay, so the shared room flat where you could be sharing it with 2 other people. So there's 3 people in one room. They pay like $45 a month.
Yes, about that.
Okay, then the next step up is a room, you said?
Yes, the next step up is no. I start the very least one is a hostel accommodation like a dormitory. Okay.
Okay, the dormitory, which is $45
Yes,
a month.
yes, it is about no. It's about 360 a month.
Oh, per
Dollar
person, each
per
person.
person. Yes, per person.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. So 360 per month.
yes, about 360 per month.
Okay,
And
that's the
then
okay.
this is a dormitory, like a hostel. And then you go to the next step up where you have a shared room in an apartment.
Shared room, okay.
Yes, yeah. So you have like an apartment with 3 rooms, and then you have 3 of you, having your own separate rooms, a common living room, and the lobbies and the kitchen and all that. And then that's about $600 a month for
Okay.
each of you.
For each of you. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So it's going up quickly.
Sometimes utilities included, sometimes not.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so then that's a shared room. So then we're
Mhm.
looking at like a studio for yourself. How much would that cost?
Then if you want to have it all to yourself, all of them to yourself, then you have that 46,000. That means you can divide by 22, which is the conversion rate right now. So you're looking at about $2,200 a month.
2,200. It really jumps up. And is that a studio or is that a one bedroom? How big
It
is
is,
that?
it's not a 1 bedroom, it's like 3 bedrooms.
It's 3 bedrooms
3 bedrooms. So you're looking at about 2,200. Yeah. 2,200, yes,
for
per
a
month.
and that's in Prague.
It's in Prague.
So I'm
And
guessing outside of Prague, the prices start to come down.
perfect. It is less. Sometimes
Yeah,
75%, sometimes 50%, sometimes less than that. The farther you move away from the center, the cheaper it is.
gotcha. Do people commute into Prague? Do they live outside for the more
Yeah,
affordable rents?
yes, a lot of people do this. A lot of people do this. Most of my students, adult students that I teach, they do this. Big families, so they live at the outskirts in the countryside, and they just drive down to work in the center of Prague where they work, and then they have maybe most people that do this actually have their own homes. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
have bought their own homes outside of Prague, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes drive, and they get to work in the center. So, but if most people, when they want to rent, they usually want to rent within the city. Like it depends on what you like, because it's just like probably New York and other places. It's a city that doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
You come 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., people are moving everywhere in the streets nonstop, 24 hours.
Yeah. Do you enjoy that?
It is beautiful, yes. Sometimes I can just wake up at 3:30 and I take a walk around the city center. I see lots of people everywhere.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
Yes.
So that gets me into the people that are living a little bit outside or even inside. Do you have any idea what real estate costs are to buy, like in Prague or outside of Prague? If you wanted to buy like a flat or even a house, do you have any idea what the costs are? Or?
Yeah, like if we had this conversation 2 weeks ago, probably I wouldn't have an idea. But just I think it was 3 days ago, we're just speaking with a friend where he stays, and he's just staying in a room that's like this room is part of a huge apartment. I think about 3 or 4 rooms, and it's owned by his own friend. I think he got it from his family, his mom,
Okay.
and his mom left it for this friend and his sister. So they are planning to sell it and get something smaller because they're quite young people. So they just can't stay. There are lots of rooms which are like vacant and not doing anything, redundant spaces like that. So I started talking with them. They told me that they're looking at between 10 to 15 million Czech crowns.
Okay.
10 to 15 million. So I'm going to just take the average, maybe 12,500, 12.5 million. So if you have that, you would have, if you have divided by 22, so you'd be looking at, about 5,000. Yeah, you'd be looking at about that amount, about 5,000. So you have here one, two, sorry, one moment. So that's usually the amount that you have for a full flat if you want to buy it. So yeah, you're looking at about 54,000. So you're looking at about 250,000 US dollars.
250,000.
Yes, 250,000 US dollars
for a flat. Okay.
full flat. Yeah.
All right. So 250K for a flat. And would that be, is that outside of Prague or in Prague?
This one is in Prague, but not really at the city centers, but still in Prague. Not completely the suburb or the countryside, but not at the city center.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And how
But
many
still within the
rooms?
perimeter.
How many rooms
Yes.
does this flat have?
This place will probably have about 3 rooms at least.
3 rooms. Okay. So it's a good size flat. Okay. And how about like transportation? How do people get around in Prague? Is there a metro system there? Oh, you look like you locked up. I don't know if you can hear me.
You mean traveling?
Oh, there you go. You're back. You were locked up for a second there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So like, how is there a do they have a metro in Prague?
Yes, the public transport system in Prague is renowned to be one of the best in Europe, like really, really good, because you have a metro system, you have the trams, and also you have buses, very good connections, and they run 24 hours nonstop. And once you purchase a ticket, either annual ticket, monthly ticket, it covers you for any of these means of transportation within Prague.
Oh, wow. What's the cost of a monthly ticket?
A monthly ticket will cost you about 550 Czech crowns, which is $25. Can you imagine?
Wow,
Is that
20.
really?
So 25 a month, and you can get on the train, you can get on the metro, you can get on buses, anything, nonstop.
Anyway, yes.
Yeah, that's
within
a great.
Prague.
That's a great deal.
Prague, yeah. Yes.
That is a great deal, man. All right.
And when you go ahead and do it like annually, like for a year, it gets even cheaper. So let's look at how much you need to pay if you buy for 1 year.
For the whole
If you
year
buy
up
for
front.
1 year,
Okay.
you'll be looking at about you'd be looking at about 165, about 170.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
Taking care of it for 1 year.
that's a huge incentive to buy the full year, and that's really affordable. Really affordable. Okay, so man, the transportation's cheap. Now, as far as like, does that include taking a bus outside of Prague and traveling somewhere else, or would you have to?
No, when you're traveling somewhere else, then you have to pay.
You got to pay. Okay.
Yes, you pay separately because this ticket that you have is like you're buying it from the state. So, but if you want to travel somewhere, most times you have private companies that handle this, so you pay separately.
Okay. So Johnson, what kind of a place are you living in? Now you mentioned the various different places, from shared to, having your own space. What do you live in?
Yes. I started when I first came here, of course, initial arrival, I had to stay at the dormitory, the hostel, where I even had to share the room with someone for a couple of months. And after a number of months, maybe half a year, the university gave me a small, it's a shared flat, so where I have to have my own room, like you see behind me here. So I just have my own room here, and I have a flatmate who has his room just over there. So that's where I stay. It's quite big. It's like 20 square meters. And we have a big kitchen where we cook, and a bathroom and toilet.
Nice, nice. Okay. Well, that's so let's segue into food. So what do people eat in the Czech Republic? What is the food of the Czech Republic? And if you go out to a typical restaurant, what are people going to pay for a dinner?
Well, if you go to a typical restaurant, you're looking at something like, that's usually what is called svičkova. It's a Czech word. It's like, let me call it broth of maybe meat and different kinds of meat, usually maybe beef and mostly beef and pork. They eat lots of pork here. And then you have dumplings, okay? Dumplings by the side, probably a few vegetable dressings, also side dish. This is very common here. And sometimes you also have a lot of grilled meats, grilled food. It's also very popular here. And during Christmas, they have what is called the Czech potato salad. It's made from boiled potatoes, some boiled eggs, and a few vegetables. They cut them all together and mix them and refrigerate them. It's usually very nice. It's also a side dish or dressing for the main meal. And I think that's the two that I can remember. And the beer here is also very fantastic. Tastes really, really good. The country is very well known for good beer.
For its beer, yeah.
Yeah, when Americans come here, that's the first thing they go for.
But Johnson, I'm sure you as a PhD student aren't partaking in that, right? Because you got to keep your mind clear so that you could pass all those exams and write those papers.
Yeah, of course, of course, I have to be allowed, but yeah, sometimes one or two glasses wouldn't hurt, you know.
Right. Sometimes that can tap into another part of the brain and help you like write more information, right?
Yeah, it's true for sure.
That's great. All right. So what do people in Prague what do they do in the Czech Republic for fun? What do you do for entertainment? What do you do for fun? What is there to do?
Yeah, there are lots of, that's one beautiful thing you get to experience here in Prague. There are lots of parks, open parks, lots and lots of them. There's Vyšehrad. I can't remember all their names, but there are so many of them. And most times, almost every week and during the weekdays, you find open shows. Most of them are paid, most of them are free. You can go there and relax with friends and families and listen to live music. Sometimes you also find stand-up comedies. Stand-up comedies also happen here a lot from people from different countries. You just talk with the organizers and you get to know them. You can get the opportunity to perform. And other things are, of course, theaters and cinemas are also there for people to relax. And then people who are interested in sports, you can find shared scooters and bikes. You can take these, and there are also mountain climbing, so many other beautiful places that you can go and look at nature. There's just so much to do. You just have to choose what suits you.
Yeah.
The mood you're in.
What do you do for fun?
What I normally do is that last week I was at an Afro rave party and we were dancing almost the whole evening from about, I think, 7 p.m. till almost 11:30.
So you were dancing all night?
Yes, we were dancing all night.
What kind of a party?
It was unique in the sense that it was an open air party. So we weren't inside any building. We were actually on the rooftop. On the very rooftop of a 4-story building, and it was beautiful. The speakers were good, and they were dishing out some beautiful African tunes. So apart from that, you also find salsa and bachata, and you see lots of people come there always to relax, to try to do the tango with people. And you don't really have to come with someone. Even if you get there, you might find someone. If you're very good at the dance step that they're playing that night, you can find someone who's trying to learn, looking for someone to teach them. You can help them out and just enjoy the evening.
Yeah.
Yes.
And and you did that all night? You were dancing all night?
I was dancing all night, but I was dancing alone. But it was really fun to hear some of my country songs played like continuously,
Yeah, yeah.
track after track after track. It was really amazing.
That's awesome, man. That is
Mhm.
awesome. So you got some good dance moves.
For sure.
What else
Yes.
do you do? I mean, what else do you do on your spare time when you're not studying?
Yeah, where I live, we have almost all the facilities, recreational facilities down at the basement. I was just coming from there because that's where the washing machine is located. So we have table tennis there, we have the billiards, snooker, we have a basketball court just outside. So, and we have
Wow.
a room filled with a bunch of bikes, about 15, 20 bikes for people to ride. So just make sure you give them your university card and you can borrow one of the bikes and ride. And also the bikes, it's very safe to ride bikes here. I think it was 6 months ago that the government gave an injunction that when you're driving past any rider, you have to give them a certain distance. I think they increased it by a further amount again. So it's very safe to ride here. The cars will give you all the space that you need. If the space is not enough, the car will stay behind you and give you a good distance. So you're sure
Yeah.
that you're safe.
Wow. So it's a bike friendly city
Friendly.
for sure.
Absolutely. Very
Yeah.
friendly.
Well, that's cool, man. That is cool. Um, so I'm starting to ask this more. I've heard nothing but great things. I've never been to Prague, and I've heard nothing but great things. But are there any safety concerns?
There are no safety concerns. Like even in small cities, you can walk freely anytime that you want. Okay, fine. If I say the city center, there are lots of people, so you're confident that that nothing's going to happen to you. Even in the small cities, when I go to visit my friends, you can 11 p.m. 12 midnight, 2, 3, you can just walk freely anywhere that you want. Every 10, 15 minutes, you see at least 2, 3 police cars will pass you by.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Okay.
roaming everywhere, some on cars, some on bikes, some on foot, just moving around the whole place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good. So you feel comfortable there.
absolutely. You feel comfortable. You see like two strong policemen every time passing by. Sometimes they see someone who doesn't look okay. They can ask you, "Is everything okay?" And then they move along, making sure that no problems going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So that's I think we pretty much covered everything, Johnson. Is there anything else that maybe we didn't cover? Or I was thinking too, like what are some of the hot spots in the Czech Republic when people get outside of the Prague? Where do they go? And anything else that you'd like to add that we haven't covered that you think would be helpful for the viewers?
Yeah, in Czech Republic, Prague doesn't contain everything, but of course it's the capital city. It has all the most populated city in Czech Republic, and the big businesses are there. But of course also the beautiful architecture that draw people from around the world to come to Czech Republic to see these things. Most of them are in Prague, but still, some of them are in other parts of the country. Like apart from Prague, you have two other main cities that are here. The second most popular city here is also it's called Brno.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Brno. It's quite maybe 4 or 5 hours by train or bus from Prague. It's called Brno. And then the third is called Ostrava. It's also a bit away from Prague. And people also tend to move around away from Prague to go to these places to see castles, beautiful castles that have
Mm-hmm.
been there. We're talking about some of them 100 years, 200 years, some older. So you go to these places, you see engineering work pieces, coal mines and plants that depict so many things in history, that has happened. So sometimes people get to move around to see these places, take photos. Amazing, amazing places. Like there's a particular place called Český Krumlov. Yeah, this one in particular, if you want to write it down, Český Krumlov.
How do you spell that?
You say CESKY, then KRUMLOV,
Krulov.
Český
Krumlov.
Krumlov.
Okay.
Yes, it's a beautiful place, I've heard. I've never visited it, but I'm planning maybe this August to go there. Some people have said it's fantastic. So anyone that wants to go around, you can go to this place for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And are there castles? There are castles in Prague. Isn't there a famous
There are
castle in
castles.
Prague?
Yes, there are castles. There are so many of them. There is, let me try to see if I can remember. There is I think the most notable places that you can visit when you're in Prague. The first one is to go to the Charles Bridge.
Okay.
Yes, you have to go to the Charles Bridge. It is very beautiful. You have to go to the Charles Bridge. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And let me look at the castles and see what I can put down here.
Yeah, I definitely got to make it to Prague one day. I've just had many friends go there, and they've just spoke incredibly highly of Prague, and they've always they always spoke highly of the beer.
If you come to Prague this time around, everywhere you turn, there's a possibility that you'll see a tourist. It's like 80%. So many people just coming and have a feel of the place, and you can see from their reaction, from the smile on their faces, that they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Well, if I do come, then I'll connect with you, and you can take me to that rooftop dancing place.
Fantastic.
So
there are so many other places like that too. So we could.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I need to get out and shake it up a bit.
It is good. It is good. You would enjoy it, I believe so. You would enjoy it. Yeah.
All right. So that's pretty much it, man. I think we covered everything. So Johnson Ugo Ezenwankwo. Thank you so much for doing this and taking the time to share your journey and tips on getting around the Czech Republic, in particular Prague, and all the details on the costs and things to do, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Johnson.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and good luck continuing in the pursuit. It's impressive. You got so many things going on. You're going to be an author, right? You're writing a book currently?
Yes, I am.
And what's your book about?
It's a collection of poetry. So
okay,
and it's like maybe 60-70% complete. So I'm pushing hard every time I get free time, and it's getting better every day, every
awesome.
week.
Okay, I look forward to that coming out. I'll definitely purchase a copy. You're finishing up your PhD, and in the meantime, you're working and helping people with English as a teacher, correct?
Sure.
As well as you started a website that's assisting people on
yes.
visa eligibility in the Czech Republic and helping them and assisting. And we'll put that link at the end here as well.
Yes, but this link is specifically for people coming for studies, because there are so many other ways that people come to Czech Republic, employee card and so many other, getting the business license and different other means that people come. But this group is specifically for people who are coming through the means of studies.
Okay, cool. Thank you for clarifying that. All right, well, Johnson, man, have a great rest of your evening. It's the evening there. I'm just getting the day started here. Thank you, sir. Have a great day, man.
I appreciate it.
Okay, take care.